baby.
Hey guys, it's Kat. Today we're going to be doing the furry friend tag, aka meeting my doggie. So I don't know how much she's actually going to be in the video. I'm hoping she'll kind of just lay here with me, which is why we're in such a cozy setting. So this is my sweet puppy, Isabella, who is typically very much so a sweetheart, but she's definitely full of sass and very silly. So she is a Chihuahua. We do get a lot of questions on if she's mixed or not. And no, she's completely a Chihuahua. So I guess there's two different types of Chihuahuas. And she has the, if you can tell, like, I believe it's called deer head shape. I don't know if that's the official name or just what people say. Which is funny because growing up I really loved Italian Greyhounds. And they also have that kind of head shape, compared to like other Chihuahuas that have more of the apple head shape. I don't know what you're doing. And this is her blankie. So if you've seen this in a video, it's hers. She is about a year and a half old. She was born in November, the end of November of 2016. And right now it is July, the end of July. She's gonna be 2 years old. My baby's gonna be a 2-year-old. We're in dog years 14! My little teenager! I thought it'd be fun to kind of introduce her like I did. So I thought it'd also make it interesting to ask you guys what you want to know. So I asked on Instagram, and I got a few questions, all from Taylor. Thank you for actually participating. I appreciate it. So she asked how old she is. And like I said, she's a little over a year and a half. How did you choose her name? Okay, so this is actually kind of also relevant to now. Originally, I didn't know what I was going to name her. And I was going to name her, I think you say it Blanca or something, which means white in Spanish. And, one, I sound stupid saying it. And two, it just wasn't a very cute name and it was kind of like stupid. And so then I just kind of had a list of names that I had for like future baby names at the time, which I wasn't planning on having a baby anytime soon at the time. But I had like the names picked out because I don't know, I've been thinking about kids' names since like, I think I was probably like 6. I mean, I've always wanted to be a mom, so. And on there, one of the names was Isabella. Well, then I went to type it and ended up messing up the spelling or something, or I was like fidgeting with the spelling, because there's different ways you can spell Isabella, and I didn't want to name her just Bella, because, I don't know, I wanted something longer. I liked the full Isabella. Well, then I accidentally took the B out, and then I was like making fun of it, like my spelling was off, and I was like, Isabella. Oh, wait, I like that. And then, so it kind of just stuck. However, that's become a problem recently because, again, that was a baby name that I wanted to do, but it gets too confusing because a lot of people end up calling her Isabella. And to figure out how to pronounce her name, we'll say Isabella without the B, and that's what it is, Isabella. And I've always liked the name Isabella spelt with a Z just because it's a little different. Although, the name's so common now that even that spelling of it is quite common. The next question is, where did you get her? So I'm not a big fan of shopping for dogs. I believe in adopting dogs, not shopping for them, because you'd have to like research why, but that's a personal choice of mine. However, when I got her, I was not actually planning on getting a dog. So her dog parents are actually Lee, who is my boyfriend, and she's our dog, also the father of the baby. If you didn't know, I'm like 36 weeks pregnant, or almost 36 weeks pregnant. I'm like a month from my due date. Oh, and so his dogs ended up getting pregnant. So I was paying attention to the different puppies, and my heart got attached to her. She kind of just stole my heart. It was like we connected. It was like she was my little soulmate. And then I ended up spending more time with her than I should have because I didn't want to get attached to the puppies. And then I begged my mom to be able to keep her because I was really scared that she would end up at a home that wasn't as good of a home as I would be. And so yeah, I didn't necessarily shop for her, but I didn't rescue her either. If it wasn't for the situation, I wouldn't have gotten a dog. I would have waited and actually rescued a dog. And at that time, I didn't really know how damaging it can be to shop for a dog instead of adopting a dog. But I really don't want to get into something controversial. I just personally don't believe in shopping for dogs anymore. There's just so many animals that need rescue. But it kind of just was like meant to be, if that makes sense. So that's where I got her and kind of the explanation behind it. And then the last question from her is, will you ever get her a furry brother or sister? So I would like to, but the issue is, if me and Lee ever get another dog, and I say if for a reason, dogs are a lot of work, which I know you know. And it's really hard to travel with dogs because like a baby, you can take them into the grocery store, you can't take a dog. However, I've definitely tried, and they were like, you cannot have a dog in a grocery store, and I was like, but she's my baby. And she really is like my baby. I will take her anywhere I can take her. I've even taken her on a vacation with me. Like, I won't leave her at a kennel ever. And, like, when she went and got fixed, I cried all day, and she's never really had any major surgeries besides that. And then she had to get, like, I think teeth removed or something. I remember we weren't going to get it's like an optional blood test done. I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head, when she was getting fixed, and then I didn't, and I was crying to my mom, and I had my mom crying at work because I was so scared that since I didn't get it, something was going to go wrong, and I wouldn't even know, and then it'd be all my fault, and she was my best friend, and I was going to lose my best friend, and I'm getting emotional about it now. But she really, truly is like my baby, and I'll eventually tell my story behind, if you didn't know, me being 17 and pregnant. Not just my story. My story is much more than that, though, with pregnancy. So I've mentioned that she is actually a rainbow baby. Well, my dog was like my baby in between, if that makes sense. So she really does mean a lot to me, and she's been there for me through everything. She's such a goof. She'll just sit here and stare at me. She also will smile at you and just kind of like bite you, but not actually bite you. She kind of just like put her mouth on your hand, like, she's not gonna do it right now. And it's just so funny. She does the goofiest things. She has so much personality, and I don't know. And she'll just stick her tongue out. That's the funniest thing. She'll just sit there and be like, don't lick my tongue. Which I know is a question with the furry friend tag. I'm trying to do this not like question answer style exactly, because I know sometimes those can be boring. So I was trying to make it a little more interesting with actually going in depth with her story. And I think if we ever do get another dog, we'd really like to get a German Shepherd. But the thing is, I want to rescue one. Lee wants a puppy. So I don't really want another puppy. But I'd be okay with getting one if we got her trained. I said her. Automatically assuming to be a her. Or him. But again, I would want to rescue. And that's harder to find as a puppy. But it is possible. So ideally, that would be what I'd want to do, is rescue a German Shepherd. And I don't care if I have to drive to another state to do it, as long as I'm not getting it from like a breeder and I'm actually rescuing it and giving it a better life than it would have. I know dogs can kind of have issues with, like, the size difference makes me nervous because she gets a little too aggressive, and like bigger dogs don't always know how to interact with her, because like my grandparents, they have a Labradoodle and a Terrier mix, which is what, if you've seen my other videos, the other dogs are. And they all will play together, but the Labradoodle just doesn't really understand how to play because she's so small. And then she gets so mean. And so I'd be nervous letting her play with a bigger dog. I just don't know how they'd get along. Although I could see a Chihuahua and a German Shepherd getting along. What movie is that from? Beverly Hills Chihuahua. I'm pretty sure that's where my obsession with Chihuahuas started. I've always been obsessed with Chihuahuas. I should have mentioned this before. So I've always wanted a Chihuahua my entire life. Like, I wanted the little sassy chihuahuas, like, I don't know what it was. And then I ended up getting a sassy chihuahua. She's also gross, though. She's like a tomboy with her sass. So she's got all sorts of personality. What are you doing? Okay, so now to the actual tag questions. Oh, she'll actually sit there and watch TV. It's really funny because we'll be sitting there watching a show and she'll literally just like watch the show. She also likes her cage. That is her safe space. I think I was trying to say place and space at the same time. That is her safe place. Like, so people wonder why we keep the cage if we don't believe in putting her in it anymore. Because the potty trainer we had to. And if we're gonna be gone for a long period of time, I don't know, we rarely put her in it, but she'll go in it and just like lay in it. I've answered a lot of these questions already, but she's been even out of state with me. I take her like anywhere I can. I actually avoid doing things that she can't go with me on, and like, especially when I was potty training her, I would take her to my friends' houses with me. Like, if I couldn't bring my dog, then don't plan on inviting me. And I would just literally take her everywhere. I don't know. I mean, that's partially because she needed taken care of. It's not like my family would take care of her. That is one thing. A lot of people will say, oh, they have a dog, but then their family helps out with taking care of it and potty training it and everything. And I'm like, oh, I wish that was the case for me. When I got her, my mom helps out with her, like with feeding her if she gets up before I would or something, and letting her out, just because if one person wakes up, she tends to wake up and will yap. She is a guard dog, and she's actually a pretty good guard dog. She might be small, but she's more effective than any of the big dogs we've ever had. Quit biting my toes. She gets a little aggressive when playing with her, so we have to watch out with that, which makes us a little nervous with the baby, but we kind of just, if you're watching, you just gotta be careful. I think she'll be good. Huh, baby. One of the questions is my favorite memory with her. I don't know. I'd have to really think about that. I had looked at these questions before to try to think of one, and I cannot pinpoint one exact memory because there's just so many times she's like been there for me, or I was having a really bad day or just really upset, and would come home and she'd like curl up with me and it'd be all better. Which sounds so cliche and sappy, but I'm not even a sappy person. She's just makes me so happy. I was actually really scared to get a puppy or any pet because after I lost my dog, my golden retriever that I mentioned, I was a mess, and I was only like 6. So I was like, well, now that I'm older, I'm like terrified to get a dog and get attached. But that's life. It's totally worth it. I just don't like the fact that I'm gonna outlive her. Whereas like kids, you typically don't outlive. But I mean, it happens. Why do you think it's okay to leave me? They hurt my feelings. The next question is, what are some nicknames you call your pets? Or what are nicknames you call your pet? So my grandpa renames all of our animals. And she is also known as Puppet. We call her Izzy because her name's Isabella. She gets called Bella and Isabella. We don't call her it, but I call her Zella. I call her Boogie. I don't know why, because she's a little booger. Sometimes we just call her random names. Like, not necessarily mean names, just like whatever we think of. My little sugar plum. And I'm not even one for like pet names for people, but like pet names for a pet, you know? When I got her, I was 16. I had just turned 16, I believe. Like, that's not when I got her, I guess, but I was 16 when I got her. So I've known her since she was born. But I didn't get her till that January, because like, she had to be with her mom, her dog mom. And her and her dog mom do not get along at all anymore. I don't know why. Like, you'd think they'd like know each other and be like family and have like little family reunions, but no. They're mean to each other. They hate each other. So I'm definitely her mom. We do take her on walks, and she does like to be outside and run around and play. She has a barking issue, and her bark is very, I find it cute other than when it wakes me up in the middle of the night. But most people do find it quite annoying because it's so high-pitched. And a lot of people make the comment like, oh, you got an ankle biter. And then when I mention I have a Chihuahua, and then they'll see a picture of her, and they'll get to know her, and they're like, okay, she's actually adorable. And I'm like, I know. And it's not even like me being mean. She's not like other Chihuahuas. Because most Chihuahuas annoy me. So I'm amazed that I wanted one when I was little. I think I just like the idea of like a little purse dog. She won't go in a purse. I tried to put her in like the doggy purse, where like has like a section and it's like specifically for that. No. Favorite thing to do with her? What's our favorite thing to do? Huh? Nap. We love sleeping. Really though, like I posted a picture on Instagram of me and her cuddling the other day. She'll even cuddle with my belly, which is really cute. She's been weird since I've been pregnant, specifically since I've gotten a belly. It's almost like she loves me less, but is more protective of me. And in general, she's more overprotective of me and Lee. But I really don't think she does have much of a sense of the baby because of the way she acts. And like, I don't know, they say dogs know, but I don't know. Because none of my dogs seem to comprehend to not jump on me or knock me over. She obviously can't knock me over, but like our bigger dog at my grandparents. What bad habit does your pet have? She can get really nasty. So like I said, her being a guard dog, the issue is she'll get really upset by somebody that she doesn't like. She's really weird about guys specifically. And she either gets really attached to them or hates them. And when she gets really worked up, she just gets so mean. And then she'll like nip at us if we're trying to like calm her down. I have a whole story time on that I could tell, but I'm not going to because this is already a long video. It's just that like she gets meaner than she should. She's getting somewhat better with it because she means well. She really does. What is the hardest thing about being a pet owner? The fact that I feel like I can't do anything ever because I don't want to leave her alone, and for a long time she also can get like weirdly emotional if we leave her alone for too long, which makes sense. I would too, huh, baby? And I also don't want to be apart from her, so it's not like with a kid you can just like have a babysitter. You can, but it's just not the same. And same with my family. And like, it's as simple as like tasks like going to the groceries and the bank, things I could take my baby with, couldn't take her. That's probably the hardest other than like the puppy stage when you're trying to potty train them. That is another bad habit. We do kind of have an issue. We have to be super careful because she's a small dog. So she doesn't have a lot of room to like hold messes, and she's not very good at telling us when she needs to go out. So we've gotten pretty good at just kind of like knowing if she eats, like when to take her out after, and just like kind of keeping her on a general schedule. But if it gets like messed up for some reason, the schedule, and she messes in the house, it's like, it's rough. Which like messes happen with dogs, but it's difficult because like that seeps into everything. Then the smell sticks around, and like the floors we have now, you can't clean it with anything but water. But with having a baby on the way, that hasn't been that big of a deal because like I don't want to do anything anyways. It gets me out of doing stuff. And actually I have used her as an excuse to not do something. And I think some people think I'm crazy, like, oh, do you want to go to the movies? Oh no, I gotta stay with my dog. Sorry. But it's true, because, like, I don't know, I don't want to leave her for that long. And the last question asks about teaching her tricks. No. She is hard to teach to potty train, let alone any tricks. I don't know how people train Chihuahuas. I found out after I got her that Chihuahuas are not very easy to potty train. Definitely didn't teach her any tricks. She's like weird things that she does, and that's about it, and that's her. So I hope you enjoyed meeting my puppy, who will be in like every video. She'll be in the background a lot of my videos. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed meeting my baby. Bye!